Open source is, very near and dear to Nearform's heart and mine. I could see it leading to an uptick in adoption for sure. I think especially in regulated industries that maybe were hesitant to adopt proprietary models, like they can analyze the risk a little bit better. They can train the model on their own data if they want. And so that extra transparency, I think, will be important for some clients.
You have full control if you have the open source model and you manage it yourself, or you're in control of how your own data is then managed. You're not dependent on a third party in terms of what they may or may not do with your data. So I think from that perspective, what it's giving enterprises is capability that they can now leverage more comfortably. So you might have had enterprises that were sort of, look, we can't really go on the LLM journey because our data is too sensitive, we can't trust it. But this now gives them a way to take advantage of the whole GenAI wave, the capabilities, and improve their own products as a result of that.
And with OpenAI, releasing this, obviously it's going to have really great backing from them and then the community as a whole. And I think people are just so excited about it that companies will see that, hey, this is actually working out over here. We should try this out. And they don't have to invest the front of it with subscriptions or licensing fees. So I think that'll be a huge benefit.
That's a trade-off as well, right? Because what you'd have to look at is what's your level of usage? Because it could actually be cheaper to go with proprietary models and pay your monthly access fees versus actually standing up all the infrastructure you're going to need, the investment and time and people you're going to have to put into to get all this up and running. So you're trading off from that perspective. It could become much more cost effective if actually you've got a hugely high volume and then actually, okay, there's an initial investment to get it running in your own enterprise infrastructure, but over time that's going to pay back because you're not paying licensing fees to OpenAI.
When you're considering a vendor for a client, especially a proprietary one, there's a lot of red tape of, getting licensing fees and going through legal and procurement and all those things. And that would still happen with an open source tool like this, but the guardrails are a lot less. You can start playing around with it on smaller teams, on teams that, maybe don't have the financial backing to go and use a proprietary model that's more expensive. Even if it's in small pieces, we'll see a lot more innovation from those domains and industries.
You can now do everything within your own environment. So you've got full control, full security. You can manage it better from a governance perspective, especially if you're dealing with sensitive data, right? You need that reassurance that we're not going to have any breach of data from a leakage perspective.